game last night, the Dodgers, and that all gets underway tomorrow on Fox. Brandon, I'll start with you. What are you looking forward to most here?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, we had Tom Verducci on to preview this series. The first question I asked was, is this the year that the Dodgers finally get over the hump? It's been 32 years, 1988 since they won. I think they take this momentum into the World Series and they get the job done. Since the restart, this has been the hottest team. I don't know why they started the series out the way they did, but coming back from a down 3-1, 1-3, unbelievable comeback, and it's going to be a great story.
Nice to see a team in L.A. come back from a 3-1 lead instead of blow a 3-1 lead, first of all. Second of all, 5 years in a row, I have bet on the Dodgers to win the World Series. That ticket's going to cash this year, America. And I told you guys last week that Clayton Kershaw starts in the postseason. It's my Lucy and Charlie Brown with the football. I always think this time it's going to be different.
Don't do it.
Telling you right now, his first World Series start, it's going to be different. He's going to go 7 strong, give up 4 hits, 1 run. Dodgers are going to win.
America.
I'm going to cash that check. Dodgers going to win the World Series Wilds. I'm excited for it. Kershaw's going to be great.
Yes.
I'm pulling for Kershaw, but at this point, I don't know what you got to do to get him right. I'd be very, very worried about Kershaw starting.
Back on
Nick,
that
please
horse.
do not spend any of your daughter's college tuition on betting on Kershaw having a good performance. Just don't do it.
Your sons, don't
Just do
worry
it
about
pretend.
it, but your daughters definitely don't. All right, again, World Series getting underway tomorrow night on Fox. Back to America's Game of the Week now, Packers in Tampa to face the Bucks. Hey, we wanted vintage Rodgers Brady. Instead, we got an almost unrecognizable version of Aaron Rodgers. 2 interceptions thrown, one of them a pick 6, the other one almost was. Tom Brady was able to move the ball well, and the Bucks scored 38 unanswered points to roll over. 38-10 was your final on that one. Our Monday morning quarterback, Mike Vick, is here. Mike, how surprised are you Tom Brady and the Bucks blew out Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers yesterday?
Really not surprised at all. Because when you have a guy like Aaron Jones who makes the comments like he made towards Tom Brady this past week, it was all the fuel to the fire that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers needed. And when I played, if you came at me or came in my neck about anything bulletin board material-wise, then you're just going to have every player on the offense and defensive side of the ball giving 100% effort and coming at you. Now, that was the motivation, I think, to win the game, but I didn't know it would get out of hand where it was. I honestly thought it would be a competitive game. I thought the Packers would be able to go up and down the field at will and make it a shootout versus the Bucs defense, but it showed to be otherwise. And, you know, I respect the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and what they was able to put on display yesterday is everything that we thought they would be able to do, you know, from day one. And they did it, and it showed up at the perfect time of the season on one of the biggest stages. And I think this will set the tone for this team moving forward. But Aaron Jones, you know, has to tone it down when it comes to, you know, going after another player, especially a guy like Tom Brady, because it's not just Tom Brady that he offended. He offended everybody, and it showed yesterday. And I think he had about 6 yards total yesterday. And every time I looked up, he was getting slammed in the B-gap. He was getting slammed in the B-gap all day yesterday.
Yeah, he should be embarrassed. He should be more embarrassed than Aaron Rodgers doing the little pump, Nick. The little you don't like Aaron Rodgers celebration. I absolutely loved it in the moment. But I'm not shocked that they won the game. I'm shocked how they won the game, Mike. And I don't know if it was all about Aaron Jones. I just think it comes down to that defense and Todd Bowles. Oh, my goodness. Friday, we previewed this game. We talked about what quarterback had the biggest challenge. Who had the tougher job. And I chose Aaron Rodgers because I didn't think he's been challenged up to this point. Tom Brady has. Thursday Night Football, going into Chicago, going against that defense, Akeem Hicks, and then also the beast Khalil Mack. So, to me, this is all about what they did on defense. You look at their offensive line. They were the best in the business coming into this game. They only let Aaron get hit 9 times, sacked 3 times. Well, yesterday, 4 sacks, 11 hits, And they also made Aaron Rodgers look like a Burrow, like a rookie. He was confused out there. He didn't know where the blitz was coming from and when. And I think that's what makes Todd Bowles' defense so good, is because everyone gets brainwashed and it's coming from all levels. You see Whitfield coming from the edge. You got the linebackers coming. Are they in the A gap? Are they in the B gap? Are they outside of JPP? And then all of a sudden you see everybody drop back and you see a pick six. You see Aaron Rodgers hold on to the ball. And that's why he went from being hit 9 times in 4 games to 11 times in 1 game, because the brilliance of Todd Bowles in this scheme. And early on in the game, I took a note. I said, you know what? It's going to come down to, Aaron Rodgers really dissecting this, because they were taking advantage of the flat. There was a few crucial 3rd downs where the corner or the linebacker didn't get outside underneath the flat. And he picked them apart, and then they were able to correct it and fix it, and then they blew the top off this game. So Aaron Rodgers, I don't think they were humble. I just think they're showing themselves against a really good team.
Well, so a couple things to kind of amplify Mike's point. It's actually, if we're thinking of the same comments, the comments, my quarterback doesn't forget the down, it's even worse, because Aaron Jones at least been a Pro Bowler, but it was the other running back. It was Jamal Williams. So a guy who's done even less in this league was the one taking shots at the GOAT, your GOAT, Tom Brady.
Oh, excuse me,
there is bulletin board. No, but the point remains. Your point about that it got the Bucs fired up absolutely remains, especially when it's a guy who'd accomplished even less than Jones had. But I think this game, if I'm a Packers fan, I think it is eerily familiar to what happened last year in the regular season against San Francisco, when everything was going really well, and then you played a team who you could not block, and they embarrassed you. And no matter how good the rest of the year went for the Packers, I felt like, and I don't know if they felt like this or not, but they should have, in the back of their mind, man, if we play them again, what's going to change? And I'm not sitting here to tell you the Packers can't beat the Bucs, but I am sitting here telling you it reminded me a lot of last year, where it was like their front is just bigger and stronger than the Packers' offensive line. Packers had a good offensive line. I know Bakhtiari got knocked out of the game, but he's one of the best left tackles in football. And that's the concern, Wilds. I'll talk about the Rodgers stuff later. The concern is the Bucs' big people annihilated the Packers' big people, and a guy that both Brandon and Mike, I think, played for in Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles takes over a defense that was the 32nd ranked defense in the NFL when he got there. And by the end of last year, they were playing at a top 10 level, and this year they've been playing at a top 5 level. That was the story of the game more than anything else, Wilds.
Yeah.
See, the question that I have, Nick, is it going to be like the 49ers where you lose twice to them, or is it just a scheme thing? It's like, we saw what the Bucs did. If we play them again, we won't do this. Because I want to play the sound here. Jamel Dean knew that he was going to get a pick 6. If we can play it, take a listen, Mike.
I was really, when I saw the formation, then I seen how like everything started to develop. I'm like, I have to make this play because I know what's coming. And then once I saw him throw it, I was like, yeah, it's mine.
Yeah.
So then, Mike,
This is awesome.
that makes it seem like it's not just of physically overpowering them, but it's just like the Bucs outsmarted Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that was Dean's preparation that put him in that position. You can tell that was basically a mental play that turned into physical. He understood what was coming, and I think on the defensive side of the ball, you have to be able to anticipate as well. But I will say this, just jumping to the offensive side of the ball, you look at the last game that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers played against the Chicago Bears and how Tom Brady got beat up and abused in the pocket. That wasn't the case yesterday. The ball came out quicker. You know, the ball was distributed in different ways, and Tom didn't hold the ball no more than 2.5 seconds if you go back and look at every single play. And then they got Gronkowski involved, which is, you know, a story for a different day. But, you know, everything looked different yesterday, and this team was totally ready for this challenge.
Another thing to quiet. Oh man, there was some good
We'll get
stuff
to that,
coming.
Brandon. Tough day.